Now, one of the other things that we're going to need to do with this F distribution is to compute p-values. And we need to compute areas under the curve in order to do that. So let's practice computing some of these p-values or probability values. So we want to compute the following F distribution probabilities you'll use your calculator. So we are given probability that F is less than 4.5. So your distribution looks like this. Got that skewed F distribution curve. And then 4.5 would be out here somewhere. And the probability that F is less than 4.5 will correspond to the left area, less than left. If it was greater than, it'd be right area. So we first need our degrees of freedom here. So numerator degrees of freedom, V1 is k minus 1, so that's 4. Denominator degrees of freedom, V2 is n minus k, 40 minus 5, 35. So then our probability that F is less than 4.5. So now we will switch to the calculator. We are going to go to the distribution menu, second variables, and then we want to scroll down to FCDF, which is 0, choice 0. Our lower limit is 0. This starts at F equals 0. Our upper limit was 4.5. Our numerator degrees of freedom, that's the 4, and denominator 35. So FCDF, so this is FCDF, that's cumulative distribution function, lower cutoff, upper cutoff, and then degrees of freedom, 4 and 35. And then we hit enter, so 0.9951. So almost 100% of the area. How about F greater than 2.35? So K is 4, so V1 is going to be 4 minus 1, 3. And then V2 is n minus K, 35 minus 4, 31. And so our probability here that F is greater than 2.35. Well, FCDF gives less than probabilities, so we need to write this in terms of a less than. So 1 minus the opposite probability that F is less than 2.35. So this will be 1 minus FCDF. Our lower would be 0, our upper cutoff 2.35, and then our degrees of freedom 3 and 31. So let's go ahead and enter that in. So we're going to do 1 minus, and then go to second variables. Scroll down to FCDF, and then we want 0 to 2.35. Degrees of freedom here were 3 and 31. .0916. So about 10% of the area that would be less than 2.35. Like so. And then a between probability, again, we need our V1, which is going to be k minus 1, 1. And then V2, n minus k, 42. And then to get a between probability here, we will have to subtract here, because the FCDF only gives less than equal probabilities. So probability that 1.50 is less than F is less than 3.20. So let's sketch a picture here. So we got our F distribution. And then we want between 1.5 and 3.2. So we want that area there. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the probability that F is less than 3.2. So that would be everything to the left of 3.2. And then we are going to subtract off the area to the left of 1.5 right there. So minus probability that F is less than 1.5. So this will be an FCDF from 0 to 3.2, and then in degrees of freedom 142. And then we're going to subtract off another FCDF from 0 to 1.5. And that'll leave between 1.5 and 3.2. So let's go ahead and enter that in. So I'm going to clear out, so second variables. And we're doing 0 up to 3.2. Degrees of freedom were 1 and 42. Paste it, minus, and then we go back again. And the only thing that changes is the upper goes to 1.5. So then that difference, 0.1466. So that's less than, greater than, and between probabilities with the F distribution.